Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the JR Wisdom channel. Once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If this is your first time checking out any of my stuff, videos, whatever, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button along with the bell. That way you receive all the notifications for all of my future videos. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it with this whole Zaddy Chad Wheeler episode. When swirling goes wrong, whatever you want to call it, a supremacy episode, being neurotic. There's a few things I want to discuss with this video, and in light of recent events that happened that we all can learn from as men and women. And one of the few things right off top is CDV is never okay. Let's just get that out the way. This is no laughing matter at all. And like I said, there's a few things I want to point out in this situation. So for those of you who don't know who exactly Chad Wheeler is, he's an offense or was an offensive tackle for the Seattle Seahawks, and big dude. And for you guys, so that we can have a comparison, or so that you guys can, kind of play it out in your mind as I'm talking about this. This guy is 6'7", 310 pounds. This guy is huge. Pause. And the situation with his girlfriend here, she's 5'9" and weighs about 145 pounds. So you can see there's a huge difference here. Not only that, he's a man. So I'm 6 foot. I'm nowhere near. And if you've ever stood next to someone who's 6'7" or above, and especially that type of weight, or anybody in, professional or offensive lineman for that matter, and you're not that size, they look like giants. So this is crazy, the size difference, first off. So anyway, what basically happens is on Saturday night, this guy, Chad, who's basically, I guess he suffers from bipolar disorder, and that's coming out now. He's off his meds, and the incident happened, I guess, at his apartment with his girlfriend, who happens to be black, where he tells her to bow down to him. I guess, according to her, he was in a dark place for whatever reason, and he tells her to bow down, and she refuses. So he commences to put the beaters on her and strangle her until she's unconscious, right? So throughout this time, basically, he's thinking that he killed her, right? So she wakes up, and when she wakes up, he looks at her and he goes, "Wow, can't believe you're alive." You know what I'm saying? And she runs and goes into the bathroom and locks herself in the bathroom to call 911 at this point. Obviously, he's banging on the door trying to get in there, and she's not letting him in. She's screaming, saying that this guy is trying to take her out, so on and so forth. And he basically finds a way to get in there, depending on whatever type of bathroom or lock that's on the bathroom. He manages to pick the lock, and he gets in there, and he knows that she's already called the police at this point. So it's whatever devious plans he had up his sleeve to pull off, he wouldn't be able to pull off at this point, because the police are already on the way. She's on the phone. So he's begging her, apologizing, saying that he didn't mean to do it. He's not abusive, so on and so forth. And the police show up. They're knocking on his apartment door. He doesn't want to answer the door. So they force their way in. He's still belligerent, apologizing, saying that he's not a woman beater, so on and so forth. And they take him to jail Saturday night. That's the 22nd, this past Saturday, January 22nd. So he gets booked in there at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and he spends the weekend and gets out Tuesday morning on $400,000 bond at this point. Obviously, the Seahawks release whatever, saying that they're basically cutting ties with him and they don't support CDV. So a few things that appear to be strange to me. So he's off of his medication, for one, right? He's off of his medication and he has this episode. Supposedly they were dating for 6 months. And she's saying that this is the first time that something like this has happened, which seems a little overboard. He said he was having a manic episode at this point. He's off his medication and he had a manic episode because she didn't bow down to him on his supremacy tip. He commences to doing this, and he basically tried to take her out because he actually thought he took her out and was going to commence to finish the job. So my thing is, and I'm not saying bipolar disorder doesn't exist. You know, for those of you who watch my videos, I've talked about it in the past with my ex-wife. But I think the manic episodes that people do have, it always seems to happen with someone that they feel either isn't going to do anything, or they don't feel they're going to get in trouble about it, or they think they can get away with something. That's when these episodes, especially episodes of violence like this, that he did, and he's, you know, we'll get into this whole swirling thing that we can talk about, you know, as far as telling a woman to bow down to you, a woman of color to bow down to you in that manner, and for her to say no. And I'm not saying this is exclusive just to interracial couples. This happens everywhere, but at this point, and the ramifications would happen if you've seen the pictures, which I'm not going to show. I have the links in the description for you guys to check out the pictures of her. I just can't see it going for him to be, or anybody's going to have bond, you know, for that point. But I just think it would be a lot more outrage for it if it was a woman. If it wasn't a woman of color, I feel that there would have been a lot more outrage. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the whole bipolar issue. Has he ever done this with his teammates? Has he ever done this with former girlfriends? Has he ever done this with former girlfriends that weren't of color? You have to think about these things, and this is what comes to mind in my head. You know, when I think about something like this, and bow down. To bow down is to say that you have some type of supremacy over someone. So I find that quite strange. And then now it's a bipolar issue, and it sounds like she's maybe taken up for him in this aspect as well. So the next thing which may come about is, you know, the whole CTE thing, which saying that he suffers from that, from being, you know, taking too many hits to the head. And this is what led to this. And he may have a good case for something like that. The chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Y'all forgive me. But that's probably going to end up coming about, and he may still be able to keep his place in the NFL based upon that, or be a spokesperson for CTE and, you know, get some kind of gig doing that, making money. But with that being said, the flip side of what I wanted to talk about this, which I've discussed on other videos, is you ladies need to know who you're in a relationship with. Even though it's been 6 months, it's hard for me to believe that this is the first time something's happened in 6 months. And the first sign of aggression, violence, things like that, you need to be worried, especially for a giant like this. As far as you dudes, keep your cool. Don't lose it. There's no need for you to ever put your hands on a woman. You use your mind. If she does something that you don't like, you always walk off, or you walk away, or you tell her to get out of your place. It's as simple as that. And you need to document things like this, because men lie, women lie, everybody lies. But in a case like this, especially for you dudes, don't ever go neurotic. Don't ever go off on a woman or have yourself in a position where you're losing your livelihood, your career, things like that. Just be conscious of what it is that you're doing and who it is that you're doing it with and who you're dealing with. Because something sweet can turn sour like that, I'm telling you. So control your emotions, control yourself, and if it's somebody you feel that isn't down with this program, if you're role playing this whole Zaddy thing and she's not down with it, then, you know, kick rocks or just beat it. You don't need to be in a position where you have to inflict violence upon someone or harm on someone or basically demean someone. Look where he's at. Who knows how this is going to turn out. So that's just my thoughts on the situation. Let me know your thoughts on the situation. Leave your comments below. I like to hear it. What do you guys think is going to happen from this? If you guys had similar experiences or know of things like this, please feel free to comment them below. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys check out these other videos that'll pop up here on the screen here shortly. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to email me. All the links are in the description. If you're seeking any advice or want to book a one-on-one, links are in the description. That being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace be upon you, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.